Hello there, friends and RC family. My name is Alec from High Noon Hobbies, and we are back out here at the beautiful Desert Mountain, centrally located in Utah, for more coverage of the North vs. South Utah RC Crawling Championship 2023. If you've been paying attention to the channel for the last few weeks, you are familiar now with this area. It is a beautiful area to crawl, just fantastic views all the way around, as you can see. Thank you 816 Garage or Jace for that fantastic drone footage, and thank you of course to Mike for cooking up breakfast, lunch, and dinner for these competitors, keeping them well fed, well nutriated, and ready to dominate some hard lines. The last few weeks, though, we've been taking a look at this course here. Actually, not this driver. I'm saving this footage, so keep your eyes out for that one. We'll get to see Mike Thompson run through that course still, but we've become quite familiar with that Class 2 course, and now I think it's time to move on to a different class. As you can see here, it's time to start looking at Class 3. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Class 3, this is the class where those who enjoy wiggly bits, dig, all sorts of fancy stuff like that are going to come out and throw down on even more difficult lines than we have been watching in Class 2. Some of these lines are really tough, as you're about to see in this run here. We're going to watch one of the most popular competitors on this channel because his driving is just so fantastic and his builds are so well put together. This is Cameron, or Ginga Ninja RC, putting in his first qualifying run in Class 3. And of course, we've got Logan, or West Desert Wheeler, judging, and we're going to have a good time watching this run, ladies and gentlemen, because as far as I'm concerned, Cameron never disappoints, even if it's a challenging course, even if he encounters problems throughout his runs. I always like to watch Cameron run through a course. I always feel like there's something to be learned from watching the way that he hits these obstacles. This is one of the most difficult courses that I saw while I was out at this event. This Class 3 course in particular was one that I did not see very many competitors actually finish. I saw a few competitors get really close, like Gate 8, Gate 9, but even those were some of the best competitors that I know. So let's see how far Cameron gets in this course. Let's see if he's able to make the most out of his time and get all the way through. This is a 6-minute time limit, just like we've been running for all of these courses here for the North vs. South finals. We're really trying to tighten up the reins on that time limit, trying to make it as difficult as possible for competitors to get through the course clean and still remain within time. And that is exactly what we're seeing with this course here. It's a tough one to be able to both get through everything clean and maintain an appropriate time to get through. That gate number 1 and gate number 2, both of those are toughies. You can see Cameron really taking his time to get through them, but not particularly difficult in terms of the assessment portion of it, right? A tough ascent on that gate number 2, a tough side hill on that gate number 1, but both of those, as long as your rig was dialed, weren't too bad. This is where things got to get a little bit spicy here, as we're headed through what became one of the more difficult side hills, but most Class 3 rigs are going to have not too much trouble with the side hills, but the way that this gate, that gate number 3, set you up for this bonus here was really quite a doozy, right? You obviously want to try to come in from that bonus almost where Cameron's feet are, so that you can stem it like a V-notch all the way up, but that would take a lot of time to cut all the way back around to the bottom and try to work your way up, not to mention how difficult of a V-notch this one is all the way from the bottom. So Cameron's approach here, actually spectacular. Really high level, really big brain move, so to speak, in just taking that reverse, eating that single point, knowing that he can get down into a comfortable spot in that V-notch and then work his way back up quickly into that bonus line. I think that was just an excellent play, an excellent move on Cameron's part. Now we're headed into this gate number 4 here. Very tough off camber V-notch. You can see Cameron running essentially almost for a moment there opposite lock just to try to get that rear axle as far up on that side and avoid that lower cone as possible. But by doing that, he's throwing that whole front end up and off of the rock face. Luckily, the weighting just right on Cameron's rig here, and he's able to pull that off without peeling off of the rock. Really quite impressive there. We're going to take a pause to reposition here, and this is another thing. I've mentioned this before as we've watched Cameron run. But one thing that Cameron does particularly well is maintaining his time and his composure, right? He's always looking for these opportunities to find the right spot to stand, not taking up more of his valuable time than he needs to, always taking the pause when it's an option. And even here, right, we're going to drive a little bit further down the hill. He stops, he sees what he's got to do next, and he says, you know what, I'm going to take another pause here and work my way down even further so I'm in a better spot to see this gate and set myself up for that next gate, right? Body position is in some regards just as difficult of a task as trying to get your rig through the gate when you're also trying to maintain a really tight time. We can see Cameron making it look relatively easy to get through that descent gate there, that number 5, now headed into gate number 6, and we are past the halfway point, and we are also at a 3:33 at this point. So you gotta start, I don't know that we necessarily need to start picking up the pace, but we definitely have to maintain that pace. We got to make sure that we've got time necessary to get through. This gate number 6 is a doozy. He's actually making it look pretty easy and getting through there relatively quickly, so that's going to help. I've seen some competitors get really stuck up on that one. The problem here is going to be getting off of the gate number 6 rock and onto the gate number 7 rock. So you got to come down through this little notch, down into this even tighter notch, and then you got to work your way back up and over on the other side through the notch on the other side there. You can see there's a little bit of debris down in that crack, not making it any easier on Cameron. Now we're here at 4 minutes and 20 seconds almost, and we are at gate 7, right? So you can see how this this course starts to really become more difficult as you get closer on time. It's not necessarily that the gates become more difficult, but the gates are difficult all the way through, from gate 1 all the way to gate 10. Each gate takes a significant amount of effort to get through clean, and you don't really have a very easy or a very clear line up. Like you can see what Cameron's struggling with here is there's really no clear way up, and so he's got to take a couple of different attempts to get himself into a spot that he feels comfortable getting through that gate, like he's not going to tap one of those cones. This is a great approach here, abandoning the V-notch, right? This is something that I think people don't realize, but judges are often trying to do this. Judges are often trying to screw you up when you look at a gate. So you might look at a gate and say, oh, well, the gate's at the top of the V-notch, so I'm supposed to just take the V-notch all the way up and through. But that's not always necessarily the case. In fact, a lot of the times, especially at the north versus south, our judges like to be a little bit sneaky, and they'll set up a gate in a way where it looks like there's one way to do it, and yet the way that you should be hitting the gate is completely different from the way that it looks. So that is definitely a great example of that. But Cameron, a great example of what a competitor should do, right? You try the easy approach, or you try the most obvious approach, as long as it looks reasonable, and see, okay, yeah, no, this seems good, I'm going to try that. But when it doesn't work out for you, reassess, right? Pull back out, take that reverse point. It's better than getting a gate, and work your way into a better position. Unfortunately here, DNFing at gate 10, which gives him a plus 15 right there at the very end. But even still, DNFing at gate 10 is an impressive feat on this particular course. So great job, Cameron. Excellent driving. And to each and every one of you, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you got to learn something like I did watching Cameron run through there. And if you didn't learn something, I hope you at least enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and give this video a like. That lets me know that I'm doing something right. And leave a comment down in the comment section down below. It's telling me if you want to see more Class 3, more Class 2, more MOA runs. We haven't even gotten to the MOA runs yet, guys. I'm super excited about those. Those are going to be quite a fun one. But until then, until the next time we see you on the channel, I hope you enjoy some scale trails, maybe some hard lines, and we will see you very soon. Cheers.